Over the last 10 years, David Walliams' children's books have sold more than 40 million copies. That's amazing. And he is taking readers back in time for the latest one, Code Name Bananas. David joins me. Oh, come on, this is too much. You've got two border terriers and this is the cutest thing I've ever seen. Oh, my goodness. Oh, they're gorgeous.
Yeah. And this is Amy.
Oh.
And they're big fans.
Oh, they're so cute.
And they love Andy Peters as well.
Well, who doesn't, frankly? Who doesn't?
They
David.
love a bit of Andy.
Of course they do. And he's very happy that he is waving. He's delighted.
Is that his real garden? Is that his real garden?
Yes. Yes, it is.
He's getting paid too much.
Yes.
yes, David. That's all you need to know. Yes.
It is. It is. It's a beautiful garden. And those doggies are great. Listen, tell me this. Do they get on all right? Because I'm thinking about getting another one. But do they play together? Are they okay?
They scrap a bit.
Right.
And then they go very quiet. And you realise they're sort of licking each other's intimate parts.
Oh.
And so I'd say they're going very well.
Okay, well, that's fine. I mean, I don't mind that. That's okay. I think I'm definitely going to do that. Now, look, this book, Code Name Bananas, you've got a gorilla going back in time. You have got the best mind.
Well, thank you. You're very kind. It's set in 1940 during London, and it's the time of the Second World War and the Blitz. And a little boy has to rescue this gorilla from London Zoo, from the bombing. And they go on the run with his Uncle Sid, who's a zookeeper. And they hide out at a guest house. Okay, I think the dogs have had enough. They hide out at a guest house in Bognor Regis where they uncover a secret Nazi plot to kill Winston Churchill. So I wouldn't say it's historically accurate, but I wanted to create a really fun adventure story with the background of the Second World War. And we're a similar sort of age. And my dad was a child during the Second World War, so he had lots of stories about that, and my grandparents did too. So I always sort of was thinking, I want to write a story somehow set in World War II. And the great thing about having a gorilla at the centre of the story is the comedy is never too far away, because whatever scene you're in, you've got to constantly be thinking, what's the gorilla doing? And normally it'll be doing something funny.
No, exactly. I think that's, I mean, for you to think of that is just wonderful. That's why it really connects with kids. I mean, we've talked about this before, about how the reaction you get from your readers is just wonderful. And really, they don't pull any punches. You know, they're very honest.
They like to tell me when they don't like a book. But I think the good thing about kids is they don't fake it. You know, if they like something, they like it. If they find it boring, but they'll tell you. But the good thing about my son is now 7, and so there's an opportunity for me to try out things, especially things like titles and things on him, you know, and I'll go, oh, do you think Code Name Bananas is a good title? Do you think that's funny? Can you ask your friends at school? And so it's good, you know, being able to test the ideas out on kids as much as possible.
God, I can't believe he's 7 already. That has gone by like a flash. It really has. And of course, it's great having him there, because you can read bits out to him, and then he's right there to say nah or yes.
Say, oh, would you like to read Daddy's book tonight? No, he's not that interested.
All right, no, it's okay.
I don't know about that, because I know you're a mum, and I don't know. Is your daughter watching this show now, or she's probably doing something else, right?
I think she does. She does now that she's here, because before she was in Singapore for ages. So I think she sort of does. She might have, you know, the way that kids watch telly now, they watch it and then they're doing 95 other things. You know, they're on their phones and they're doing other stuff. They're multitasking.
She tells you she watched it. That's it, basically. No, but I kind of just like to be dad, so I kind of feel like I don't want him to be in therapy in years to come going, my dad made me read all of his books and I wasn't allowed to read anyone else's. So, but we like to read together. It's really fun. You know, we do this thing where he reads a chapter and I read a chapter. We're reading Roald Dahl's The Twits at the moment and enjoying that immensely.
See, you remind me sometimes of Roald Dahl, because sometimes in your books it can get, and not in a bad way, but and kids quite like that, it can get a little bit dark and sometimes a little bit scary, and they quite like that though, don't they?
I think so. I think the best children's books, the ones I loved as a kid, and a lot of them were Roald Dahl books, were the books you read under the cover with a torchlight, and they felt a little bit forbidden, a bit like, oh, I'm not sure my mum and dad would want me reading this story because it's a little bit too scary, or the jokes are a little bit too naughty or something. I think these things are appealing for kids. And I think the other thing you remember about being a kid is you always wanted to read the thing that was meant for kids older than you, or watch a movie that wasn't quite suitable for you, or stay up late and watch a television show that's a bit too rude. And I think, you know, I spent my whole childhood, you know, wanting to stay up and watch Not 9 O'Clock News or The Young Ones or something. And so I kind of think kids are aspirational, and I don't think they like being talked down to. And I don't think, you know, beyond being very young children, I think really cutesy stories can sometimes bore children, and they actually do want excitement and danger and sometimes horror, and certainly lots of silly jokes.
Well, absolutely. There's not enough silliness in the world. It's something that I'm always seeing. Now, look, there you are on Britain's Got Talent, which is fantastic. And there's Matt on Bake Off. Who would have thought that the two naughtiest boys would end up in two of the, well, they're good, wholesome shows, shall we say? You know, these,
Yes.
and it's quite remarkable, isn't it? It's good.
It was even more wholesome. I mean, it's just, you know, you're in a lovely tent with Paul Hollywood eating cakes all day. I couldn't think of anything better. I'm quite jealous, actually. I'd love that gig. And he is brilliant on it. And him and Noel have such a wonderful chemistry. So he is thrilled. He's really loving that. Yeah. And I think he's brought something really fresh to the show, because he's kind of brought his silliness. I mean, look at that. You never saw something like that on Bake Off before.
No, you wouldn't have seen somebody coming out of a cake like a cherry head. I thought that was lovely. We like that. We like that.
The thing about Matt is, and some people often talk about, he has absolutely no vanity. And he says it's very important for a comedian to have no vanity, because as a comedian, you're always making yourself look silly. And some comedians, I won't mention any names, but some do have a bit of vanity, and I think they never let themselves go. But Matt is like, no, if you want to dress me up as a cake, yeah, sure. I'm there.
I don't mind.
And he came on to Britain's Got Talent because there was an amazing musicals performance on the final episode. And Cameron Mackintosh had put bits of Phantom of the Opera and Les Miserables and Mary Poppins together. And Matt came out as Thénardier, a part he's played before in Les Miserables. And then I was sat there sort of at the judging table. And it was quite tempting to press my red buzzer when he came on.
To say, that'll be that. You two have got to, I mean, I know you're so busy, both of you really, really busy, but at some stage, when you're allowed, the two of you have got to get back together again.
Having a socially distanced walk tomorrow. He's walking in Hyde Park and I'm walking in Regent's Park. We're meeting up tomorrow, so we're going to discuss things. Yeah, I mean, we did a little Brexit together. We did something for children in need and comic relief. It was the Big Night In earlier this year, and we did these little Britain sketches, but weirdly we had to film them in our own homes apart from each other. But we definitely want to work together.
You've got to, David, you really do. Well, look, it's always a joy to talk to you. We'll get a play date with your boys and my boy. And the book, Codename Bananas, out right now. Good luck with it, love. Great to see you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Don't forget, you can watch full episodes of Lorraine on the ITV Hub, and all the best clips, compilations and playlists right here on our channel. Just subscribe now and you'll never miss an upload. Click here to watch another video similar to this one, or click here to head to our channel's homepage to explore all of our exciting videos.